Well, UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson is under increased pressure to resign in the face of a scathing new report. So Imtiaz Tyab joins us now from London with the latest on this. Imtiaz, we have been waiting for this report, this investigation into Partygate. Sounds like two completely different concepts. Partygate sounds like fun. The investigation, no fun at all for Boris Johnson.
Yeah, you kind of hit the nail on the head. Well, Boris Johnson is, he's on his way to the Ukraine today, trying to get as far away from this issue as he can. He will be trying to sort of present himself sort of as this global leader, this global negotiator as that crisis goes on. But here at home, his crisis is only getting bigger, and it follows yet another bruising day in Parliament where he's had to apologize.
Sorry. And I'm sorry for the things we simply didn't get right, and also sorry for the way that this matter has been handled.
The back and forth in this great chamber of democratic debate was as boisterous as ever, and at times brutal.
But Prime Minister, the British public aren't fools. They never believed a word of it. They think the Prime Minister should do the decent thing and resign.
Johnson insists he isn't going anywhere. But the initial findings of a long-awaited government report into at least 12 parties while Britain was in lockdown doesn't look good for the Prime Minister. It found there was too little thought given to what was happening, failures of leadership, and excessive consumption of alcohol.
The Met is now investigating.
The full details of that report won't be made public until the police's criminal investigation is complete. But according to the police, they've received over 500 pages of evidence and at least 300 photos. Some of them taken after the Prime Minister made this visit to a school on his birthday. One cake apparently not enough. He was served another by several colleagues inside the cabinet room at 10 Downing Street.
Prime Minister take responsibility.
But the party's over for Johnson, says Conservative lawmaker Andrew Bridgen.
Should Boris Johnson resign?
Boris Johnson and the clique around him apparently have been able to do what they want while telling the rest of the country to do as they're told. That's not acceptable.
Now, one of his predecessors, the former Prime Minister David Cameron, once described Boris Johnson, and I'm quoting here, as a greased piglet, someone who can wriggle his way out of just about anything. Question now is, can Johnson wriggle out of this one, too? Anne-Marie.
Yeah, that's definitely the question. He's got a number of nicknames, that Boris Johnson. But, let me ask you, you mentioned at the top there that he is headed out of the country to deal with the crisis with Ukraine and Russia. Sometimes when things are really bumpy on the home front, a little international travel can do you good. Is this likely to be the distraction that he needs, or, are things just a little too hot?
I think he's hoping that it is going to be the distraction that he needs. And, sure, we're being a little bit cynical here that he would try to deflect from his troubles at home by this enormous crisis in Ukraine, the potential of war. But let's just say it's not starting off very well. Prime Minister Johnson wanted to reschedule a phone call with Vladimir Putin, something that Vladimir Putin has declined. So no phone call between Boris Johnson and the Russian leader. But again, he is on his way to the Ukraine, again, to insert himself as a statesman and as part of this really big crisis. But you only got to consider the situation at home, where people are really calling for his resignation, people from inside of his own party. And this is an enormous crisis that's facing him. But again, as we've been saying, Boris Johnson has been called a lot of things, including from a former Conservative leader, a greased piglet, for his ability to wriggle out of very tight spots. And many people are believing that he may wriggle out of this one too. Marie.
So Imtiaz, I know Boris Johnson was sort of telling people, just wait for the investigation, wait for the report. What we got here was not the complete report, though. It's sort of like a preliminary report, right? So then when will we sort of get the final word on Partygate?
Yeah, it's interesting how politics work here. Let's wait for this report. No, let's wait for the other report. What we've seen time and again with this government is just sort of the kicking of the can. And the thing is, it's just becoming more and more excruciating. You and I have been reporting on this now for quite some time, and this scandal has just gotten bigger and bigger. But more importantly, it's become more and more excruciating. And really the calculus here in Britain, and indeed with the folks in this building behind me, 10 Downing Street, where Boris Johnson lives and where his office is, and where all those parties allegedly happened, a lot of them anyways, is what is the public mood right now? Is the public mood moving away? Is the initial shock of these parties, has that waned? Does Boris Johnson, will he be able to sort of regain the trust of all the people who were so hurt and so offended by his decision? Some people believing yes, but very quickly I have to add that here's the crucial thing. It's not so much public opinion, it's the opinion of members of parliament within his own party. If 54 members of his own party write a letter saying that they want a vote of confidence in Boris Johnson, this will be the real test for his future, because there's a very good chance that a number of lawmakers, having seen what they've seen over the past several months, having seen what they've seen and seen what they've heard, rather, of this investigation, this police investigation, which is underway right now. Again, 300 photos, 500 pages of documents from that initial investigation. If all of that comes out, it really could be curtains for Boris Johnson.
It's very true. At this point, anyways, it certainly seems that the odds when it comes to a vote of confidence, they're not the strongest right now. Imtiaz, thank you very much.